You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network. Boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where men are free. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no wars when we have learned.
Merry Christmas from the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network. I have an awesome young man that I'm going to talk to this evening on Christmas Day 2015. His name is Chris Horne. He is a point guard for the Overton Park Chariots, who are very near and dear to my heart. The Overton Park Chariots, a.k.a. the 901 Nightmares, are currently the champions of the South Central Conference Athletic Coalition. On Advent Sports Network, we are home of South Central Conference. We cover South Central Conference sports exclusively on ASN. You've probably seen Chris on some of our videos holding championship trophies. He's a very lively personality and a really talented and articulate young man, so it's great that he's going to come in and rep Memphis on this Christmas Day. What's going on, Chris, man? I'm sorry for messing up the taping that you got to go through all of this again, but I really appreciate it. You're a good interview, and I wanted my listeners to hear this.
Yes, sir. I'm doing good.
All right. How's your Christmas Day going?
Oh, it's going well.
All right. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Overton Park. What's going on with the OPC this year? Obviously, you guys are coming off of a championship perfect season where you went 8-0 and won the title. You guys are 4-1 this year, so off to a really good start, kind of widening the season down. You have a big game against Breath of Life coming in a few weeks, hoping to get into the Final Four and play for the championship again. What's going on with the OPC, man? How are things going this year?
Things are going great. We started off kind of a little bit slow with the 4-1, but our season is getting bigger and it's getting better. So we're working hard to beat Breath of Life and try to prepare for the South Central Conference.
Tell us about, and Alondre has been on my show, your coach, Alondre Rogers. Tell us about the experience that you've had playing for Coach Rogers. Coach Rogers has been a great mentor in Memphis. She's worked with a lot of young ladies and young men and taught them the game. I mean, Alondre is a very accomplished basketball player herself. What's it like playing for Coach Rogers?
My experience of playing for Coach Rogers and under Coach Rogers was very – my experience with them has been great. And for us playing with Coach Rogers, she's a very gifted coach. She knows talent when she sees talent, and she can change you when you really doesn't have anything in life. And she's a mentor. She's a guide. She helps you understand what life is all about. And me playing with Coach Rogers has been the best year of my entire life. For us playing with Coach Rogers, I love the way she coaches and her ability, her strength, and the courage she gives us from day to day to do what we do best, and that's play the game of basketball.
Yeah, Alondre does an excellent job. You know, Overton Park has really been the gold standard, not just in South Central Conference, but really the Seventh-day Adventist Church, all of their youth leagues. You guys just win and win titles and are very successful, and then your kids grow up and they become men, and then they play on the men's team, and then your men's team is very successful, and they win tournaments, and they go on. Tell us a little bit about the experience that you had last year. You guys are coming in as a defending champion. You had a chance to go to Louisville. I remember taking the photos. You're the first person to snatch the trophy out of my hand when I handed it to Overton Park after you guys won the title. What was that like, winning that championship and that whole experience in Louisville?
That experience was wonderful, and I couldn't thank God enough and praise God enough because our team came a long, long way. And we, as the championship team, has played our roles, know our strengths, know our weakness, know when and what to do because of our coaching staff and Coach Rogers' coaching ability for us to do what we did in Louisville, Kentucky.
Who are some of the featured players on your team? I mean, I know you guys. I know Malcolm. I know TD. Tell us about some of the players other than yourself that are kind of the engine that makes the 901 Nightmares successful.
Malcolm, he can shoot threes when we're down. We know who to go to when we need that special three-point shot because he's a spot-up shooter in the corner, and his ability is to move around and catch and shoot. TD is an inside guard. He knows when to go where, when to attack, when to get fouled, when to attack the rim, to go to the free throw line, to help us with our points and getting on board. And for us, the rest of the team, those particular guys are great gentlemen of young men, and we play ball together like we're nothing but a family. We have a family bond that no other team or nobody else could break.
Yeah, if you could expound on that. For those listening, I'm talking to Chris Horne. He's a point guard or off guard. He plays both guard positions for the Overton Park Chariots. An excellent young man. Was on the championship team last year, on a 401, very successful team this year, looking to wrap up a playoff berth. You talked to me. You said something really interesting. We were talking earlier. You said that you guys were each other's keeper. You said, I'm my brother's keeper. One of the things that I see in following a lot of you young men on Facebook and kind of communicating, you guys look at the power rankings and look at the stats and all that stuff. You guys are really, really close. Your closeness seems to be beyond just, hey, we get together and we play basketball on the weekends and then we go our separate ways. You guys are always encouraging each other and always talking to each other, show up to practice, get 100%. How have you been able to build such that family and close bond?
We as brothers in Christ, and the Bible tells me that I am my brother's keeper. And yes, I'm my brother's keeper because those particular group of young men, we've been together a long time. We went to school together. We played school ball together. And outside of that, we play ball in the community. So we have a bond between each other. And I treat them like they're my family, like they're real close brothers to me because we, as a championship team, play as a family. And we win as a family. And we lose as a family. But I'm standing firm. We are standing firm. We're standing tall, that no matter what, we can do all things through Christ that strengthen us. And we thank God for giving us the strength to go out and play as we play. And our coaches coach us as we prepare to get ready for this South Central Conference and take another championship back to Memphis.
You're on the ticket with Advent Sports Network, home of Falcon Pride, One-on-One with MJ, and the Lance J Radio Show. In 49 BC, Julius Caesar led an army over the Rubicon River from Gaul into northern Italy. By doing so, he crossed the point of no return and declaration of war against the Roman Empire. Centuries later, you are listening to Jeremy Winston reach his point of no return only on Advent Sports, the Rubicon.
He's a one-dimensional fighter. He's a stand-up fighter. That's it, bottom line. He doesn't have anything else. I'm more well-rounded. I have power. I can put people to sleep on their feet. I can take you down and beat a hole in your face, and I can submit you. What else can he do?
And Connor, what would your response to that be?
He will do absolutely none of those things. Not one little bit of a thing.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
You are back on the Lance J Radio Show. I'm with Chris Horne. I wasn't planning on doing a Christmas show, but I had a chance. I had been kind of going back and forth with Chris, and he's a very exceptional young man. You're about to hear some of his talent in a few minutes, but I've been trying to chase this interview for a while. He agreed to come on, and I wanted to get this interview out as soon as possible. Chris has talked about his experience playing for Overton Park, playing for Coach Rogers, the brotherhood and the bond that he's put that he has with some of the other young gentlemen that are on the team and his experience. I have another question for you, Chris. You're not a Seventh-day Adventist, and our league, we have people that we're an Adventist league, and Advent Sports Network is primarily SDA individuals. However, we open our arms to people from other denominations. I know that you're a young man of God, and you have affiliation with various churches in the Memphis area. What has it been like working with Pastor Hines and just the youth group, the group of young ladies and gentlemen at Overton Park? How have they accepted you? How's your experience been, even though you're not a Seventh-day Adventist member?
Pastor Hines is a great man of God and a great man of honor and counseling. And the preaching and powerful message that he brings is a gift to my heart, because the Bible said the gift will make room for you. And my gift at Overton Park has made room for me with a lot of group of young people, and they accept me for who I am. And I know that God is using me to help them understand what life and what Jesus has said in the Bible, and to make them believe. And Pastor Hines has given us things and tested us on things to make us know that we are believers of Christ. And I thank him and thank the whole entire church family for just accepting me as an un-Advent, and I will soon one day become an Advent.
Mercy. What a testimony. It just sounds like you have a great relationship with both Coach Rogers and Pastor Hines. I'm going to throw you a curveball. You guys recently beat the Riverside Raiders, and Riverside's kind of the new kid on the block. Overton Park has been the gold standard. You guys went undefeated last year. You've only lost one game this year. You only lost one game the year before. So you guys have won roughly 22 out of 25, or some obscene number. You're winning 85, 90% of the games. Riverside's got a real strong team this year. I mean, my boy Corey Bean, who I went to Oakwood with, he's developed that program. They came in and they played you guys pretty tough. They were missing a lot of their players, and I actually moved Riverside in my poll and my power rankings ahead of you guys, even though you guys beat them. Are you guys going to win the championship again? Is Overton Park going to repeat and get that berth and go to Virginia Beach? Or is it possible that some of these new kids on the block, like Riverside and Oakwood and Pensacola and Mobile, are in a position to take you guys off the top this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are. And the top three things that we have to do, number one is prepare. Number two is be obedient. And three, pay attention.
All right. I can't argue with that. I'll be looking forward to it. What are your plans long term? I'm just kind of curious. What are your plans long term as far as your life, Chris? I mean, you have a lot of talents. We're about to let you express yourself on the back end of this show, but you're a very articulate young man, a very bright young man. Really, the world is your oyster. You can be whatever you want to be. What do you want to do as you're becoming a man from a child? What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be when you're my age?
I am getting ordained in the ministry.
All right.
And I will become a reverend in the ministry. Thank God for that. And I see myself as playing in college. I want to go to play college basketball, go to school and play college basketball and become a professional basketball player. All
right. Well, that's awesome. We got Chris Horne from Overton Park SDA Church. I'm going to let him. Chris has an extreme talent. At the tournament, we had a beginning of the year tournament that I've been promoting on ASM in Huntsville, Alabama, to launch the season. We were in between games, and I was actually taping and doing some interviews. I heard this amazing music coming from my left-hand side, and I turned to Autumn Washington, who's the producer for ASN. I turned to Autumn and I said, "Who is that singing?" And I looked up, and it was Chris, and he was just blowing it away. I mean, he was going Usher, whatever. I don't listen to a lot of R&B, but he was taking it to a level of some elite, talented type people. Lenny Kravitz, I mean, he was really killing it. Chris is going to sing Silent Night for us on Christmas Day as we close out the show. I'm gonna let him take it away and show all of us his wonderful talent.
Silent night, holy night, oh, it's come and all is bright round in virgin mother and child, sleeping heavenly peace, sleeping heavenly peace.
The Lance J Radio Show is taped at Advent Sports Network Studios, located in beautiful Emerald City of Seattle, Washington.